You know, this isn't my usual song anymore. What happened? I'm very confused right now. Give me a second. There it is. This is. You know, I am so sorry. If you see, this is my new store, my taco store. Yeah, I have a new song to start my videos off with, and that's this one.
Hey, Devils fans, this is JJ.
This is JJ. Welcome to the Devil's Joint. Just kidding. Okay, so I guess I lost my the whole song, the new track that I've been using as my background music. So I'm gonna have to just use the old bullshit. I'll use this. You ever, like, I'm new with having a puppy and around the house. Sometimes it's like I'm sitting in my room where he's never ever once taken a shit, but I'm sitting in the room and I smell it. Almost smells like he shit right next to me. Like, it's very weird. And what's also weird is that my song, which is called Bratman, disappeared from my computer. Maybe it's in this folder? No. Bratter, Burst, track 3, track 1. Yeah. I don't know, man. August 23rd. No, I did this one this month. This is, let's see if I do search here. Bratman. What about MP3? It's just for Brat. Where's the other one? I'm sorry, guys, but I can't get over this. I mean, I just did a whole new song as for my background. It's, it doesn't take 5 seconds to make. I found it. Let's get back to almost as if this never started, okay? That's what we're gonna do here. And I'm even gonna go to 29. Let's start. Here we go, guys. Let's start the show. Alright, that's what I was looking for. Let's do this. Got a couple of books. We'll see which ones I read out of. I'll start with Strange History. And I'll probably do Liberalism, Find a Cure. Fuck eBay. Alright. I've wasted enough of people's time who may be watching this on Rumble. Hello, Rumble friends. I don't know if my live chat is up or not, but whatever. Let's go into some Strange History, which is my favorite book to read. And I do have some not hockey. I have a Nolan Ryan Texas Rangers card. Patrick Waugh, Ricky Henderson. They're all cards that I used as the bookmark for. Well, I already wrote that. The Not So Mad Scientist is the story we're going to read. So, arguably the most brilliant inventor of the 20th century, Nikola Tesla. Oh, this is a Tesla. We're rolling deep into the rabbit hole right at the start here. Let me light a cigarette. Damn. I did not know. That the first story would be about Tesla. This song kind of gets you a little. Just kidding. Tell me if you like this background music, though, please. I make it myself. It's just background music. Anyway, Nikola Tesla died broken alone in 1943 after seeing so many of his greatest inventions passed off as other people's ideas. Marconi, not Macroni. I'm thinking fucking France right now. Marconi, the radio guy. Hold on, let me get my ashtray there. Okay. Marconi got the credit for the radio, and Edison passed off alternating current as the work of his engineers. Both bullshit. All Tesla. We should know that. Everyone should know that. When asked about his rivals late in his life, Tesla took the high road, just like he would. Let the future tell the truth and evaluate each one according to his work and accomplishments. The present is theirs. The future, for which I really worked, is mine. That's a quote of Nikola Tesla. That's a beautiful quote. I actually am going to keep this page Nolan Ryan'd so I can tweet that out. And if it turns out that Tesla really did know a thing or two about the future, in fact, he described his device in 1926 that sounds a lot like the smartphones of today. Now, this is what he said. When wireless is perfectly applied, the whole Earth will be converted into a huge brain, which, in fact, it is. All things being particles of a real and rhythmic whole. We shall be able to communicate with one another instantly, irrespective of distance. Okay, this is unbelievable. Not only this, but through television and I don't know this word. Very rare. I do have a dictionary next to me, but through television and telephony, TELEPHONY. Telephony. I'm going to look that one up. We shall see and hear one another as perfectly as though we were face to face. Maybe it's like a FaceTime. Maybe that's what that means. Despite intervening distances of thousands of miles, and the instruments through which we will be able to do this will be amazingly simple compared with our present telephone. A man will be able to carry one in his vest pocket. Now, I think the only thing he might have got wrong there is that people aren't wearing vests very often. I have a very nice Eddie Bauer vest that I got this winter, and I'll be wearing it. You'll probably see it on me in the next month because it's like a fall spring vest. Beautiful dark blue Eddie Bauer vest. I suggest you check them out. So that's really the only thing that he said there that isn't 100% accurate about smartphones today, right? Wow. Nikola Tesla. Let me add something to this real quick because and yes, I put song suggestion of the stream, Amo and the Sniffers, Hurts. And then if you don't know what band sings a song that goes, a tone poem alone is love medicine, then you just don't know, and I don't know what to tell you. But you can check it out because you will. Hurts is the name of the song. The tone poem thing is from another band, which I'm gonna put his name there. Who wrote that? S.A. Martinez, 311, baby. Okay. So let's get to the next story. Miracle Mike, the Headless Chicken, the Fartist, Real Life Frankensteins. I feel like I go to the same pages. They keep coming up a lot. All right. This is a lot of stuff about Merlin, the wizard Merlin. So this is, well, I never read this, so let's do this one. Who was Merlin, the wizard? Oops. And if you're watching this, let me know what you know about Merlin. If you know anything about him, please comment. Something I might not know. I don't know a lot about Merlin, to be honest with you. I didn't even know he was a real person. Thought it was like some sort of, like, some Harry Potter-ish kind of person. Not really. I knew Merlin was based on something real at least, but I wasn't really sure. Now I changed the name of this song from Bratman to Pierre. As you can see, it ends and begins with the same rhythm, or whatever you want to call it. It starts with this. Let me get the little hi-hats. Yeah, I like this. This is very good for the background. Okay, so who was Merlin? It says, all right, historians have tracked down 4 possibilities that may point to the inspiration for this strange wizard. Okay, so I was right. Merlin is like based on someone, but they're not exactly sure who. You see these little, I can't seem to get them in the right order so it doesn't make a thing. Usually there's things hanging there when I do my other videos, but they're well, I have my threats to democracy here. Anyway, okay, so there's a few people that they think may be Merlin, and Merlin was based on someone. So one is called The Boy Who Saw Dragons. In the 5th century, when Britain's king of Vortigern's tower kept falling down, his wise men told him to kill a fatherless boy. Wow, that wouldn't have been hard. No. And mix his blood into the cement to fix it. They could have just went to Harlem. They found an orphan in a town and brought him to the king. The boy said there was a lake with dragons under the tower. And he was right about the lake. So the king executed his not-so-wise men and gave their job to the orphan named Merlin. Okay, so that's the first story of who Merlin may be. It may be this boy who they were going to kill and ended up, the guys who got him ended up killing him. The Madman of the Forest is number 2. So this is a Scot. Merlin may be Scottish. A Scottish tale tells of a man named Lailoken, who was the bard of King Gwendolen, who had 2 giant birds that were golden collars and ate 4 men a day. So this Gwendolen had 2 birds. Do they each eat 4 men a day? So it's 8 men a day, or is that 2 each? Irrelevant. Tragedy struck in 573 when Gwendolen lost a bloody battle in southern Scotland. 300 of his soldiers... Oh, Gwendolen was a man. 300 of his soldiers were killed. Lailoken blamed himself for the defeat and fled into the forest for 50 years. He went mad in there, but gained the ability to see the future. So that may also be Merlin and Lailoken. Scottish lore says Lailoken may be the Merlin. Why is it always... My hat always makes me look like I have a bald spot. It's probably going to end up being one because of these hats. Okay, the warrior bard. That might be another... Scottish, let's see, a Roman noble named Ambrosius Aurelius stayed behind in Britain when the Roman legions left. A fierce warrior, Aurelius united the Britons, and it says Britons, Britons. I'm not sure if that's the proper, I don't know what that is, and led them to victory against Anglo-Saxon invaders. And then, wait, did I skip? Oh, and then the story goes, he gave up his power to a young man named Arthur, who became king and made Aurelius his trusted advisor. So I guess they're saying there that Aurelius was Merlin. And here's the last one in this little section about Merlin here. And they do have a little drawing of a silly wizard. And then I'm going to go and find out of Mark Dice's wonderful book, Liberalism, Find a Cure. Always give credit to Mark Dice, one of the best guys out there. All right, so this one it says, lost in translation. In Welsh writings, Merlin is called Myrddin, Myrddin, but some say Myrddin isn't a name at all. It's a job title for a bard. So Merlin Ambrosius, a name that shows up on a Welsh list of bards, means the Bard of Ambrosius. Others say the name Merlin isn't really the best translation of Myrddin. The word was first translated into Latin as Myrddinus, Merdinus. Geoffrey of Monmouth not Monmouth County, New Jersey, but Geoffrey of Monmouth changed the D to L and came up with Merlinus. Why the change? Geoffrey, spelled the same way as Jeffrey from Toys R Us, with a G and an E and an O and a double F, R-E-Y, didn't want his wizard to have a name that sounds like the French word merde, which means poop, means shit, mierda in Spanish. So those are the people that could be Merlin, it seems. Strange history is something I do very often. If you've watched before, you know that. It's part of a lot of the streams that I do. But today I'm gonna get into Mark Dice, because when I'm doing Rumble streams, perfect. I pulled right to the page I wanted to pull to. I didn't want to pull to it specifically. 58 different genders. See, now what I'm doing is I'm not going to read this whole chapter, obviously. Inside the chapters are, like, this part right here. It says 58 different genders. Let me read that. When you first signed up for Facebook, you may recall that the site asked you for your name, birthday, where you went to school, and your gender, giving you the standard 2 choices of male or female. But they later increased those 2 old-fashioned options in 2014 to 58 different options, including gender fluid, neither, and gender questioning. And of course, everything is always a source. Everything's always sourced. Mark Dice sources every single thing. You can never deny it. Anyway, where was I at? But 58 still wasn't inclusive enough. And in order to not leave anybody out, they later decided to just let users enter whatever word or made-up word they wanted, or even a number in the blank box as their gender. 324. That's from Mashable. Facebook's new gender options let you choose anything you want, by Carissa Bell, February 26, 2015. The hookup app Tinder also increased their gender options in 2016 to 37 different identities. The state of New York now legally, that's where I am right now, unfortunately, now legally recognizes 31 different genders, including gender fluid, meaning sometimes male and sometimes female, androgynous, and gender nonconforming, which means neither male nor female, and even more insane sounding options like pangender, two-spirit, and gender gifted. Yeah, gender gifted. In fact, it's now illegal in the city of New York for an employer or even a landlord to call someone by the wrong gender if they identify as one of these insane characters. Refusal to use a transgender employee's preferred name, pronoun, or title may constitute unlawful gender-based harassment, reads the New York City Legal Enforcement Guide on Gender Identity, 327. The Washington Post. You can be fined for not calling people Zay or Zero Zer if that's the pronoun they demand that you use. That's from the Washington Post. Refusal to use a transgender employee's preferred name, pronoun, or title may constitute unlawful gender-based harassment, reads the New York blah, blah, blah. Fines of up to $250,000, not $250, $250,000 may be issued for willfully mispronouncing someone. That's 328. New York City Gender Identity, Gender Expression, Legal Enforcement Guidance, June 28, 2016. In California, Democrat governor, I guess at the time, Jerry Brown, signed a similar bill into law in 2017, which now makes it a crime for healthcare workers to willfully and repeatedly refuse to call a patient by their preferred name or pronouns. 329, New California law allows jail time for using wrong gender pronoun. Sponsor denies that would happen, by Brooks Singman, October 9, 2017. Okay, that's a Fox News one. Workers can be where was that? Yeah, workers can be fined $1,000 or even sent to jail for up to 1 year. I mean, that's like the scale on that is like either you can spend $1,000 or go a whole year in jail. Like similar, and some people would take the year because they don't have $1,000, and that's not Trump's fault. Anyone who's got that derangement syndrome, Trump didn't do it. Trump didn't do that to you or us. I'm a victim of this shit. Where was I? Similar laws will likely be put in place for school teachers, business owners, or maybe everyone if we don't reverse the madness soon. The same craziness, and we know this, is happening in Canada. In June 2016, Canada's Senate passed a bill into law C-16, which essentially criminalizes calling someone by a pronoun that's not their preferred pronoun. 331 NBC News. Canadian lawmakers passed a bill extending transgender protections by Julie Monroe, June 16, 2017. Liberal media, including outlets in the United States, claimed arguments about free speech and pronoun criminalization have been debunked. No, they have not. I'm adding word to there. But in the details, they admit that fines may be issued and other punishments, like being fired from your job, which is like the main one. But jail time is not one of them. 332, Mark S. Bottom Center for Sexual Diversity Studies, Bill C-16. No, it's not about criminalizing pronoun misuse. Yes, it is. An NBC contributor recommended that the FCC fine anyone who calls a transgender person by a pronoun other than their preferred pronoun at that very second, because they changed them by the second, like calling Caitlyn Jenner a he, is in parentheses there. This is a quote by this NBC contributor. I lost who it was. Whatever. We need to stop misgendering people in the media, and there needs to be some type of fine that's put into place for media outlets that could be print, online, radio, or what have you, that decide that they're just not going to call people by their name, she said. There are guidelines that have been put in place by GLAAD, everyone GLAAD with the double A, gay, lesbian, anal ass, dick, I don't know, that have been put out to all press outlets, and if you don't follow them, you should be fined by the FCC. It should be that serious. 333, the Daily Caller, MSNBC guest. FCC should fine people for using biological pronouns to describe transgender people by Christian Datok, D-A-T-O-C, July 28th, 2015. Now, on the next page, there's a couple of the two different things. There's what is cisgender, with the question, which is, just a stupid question in general that has to be asked. And then the next one is very okay. I'm gonna terms boy and girl are wrong. It's too long, but I'm gonna do this one: raising genderless children, which is long too. Let me see if I can end it by one paragraph. All right, I'll read some of it. A non-binary transgender person in Canada wanted its baby to be listed on the birth certificate as having no sex. Let me remind you, this book is 6 years old or 5 years old or whatnot. 6 years old, 7 maybe. 2017. I mean there's just August 7th, 2018 here. So 2018. So yeah, about 5 years. Okay. A non-binary transgender person kind of wanted its baby to be listed on the birth certificate as having no sex or a U for undetermined or unclassified instead of male or female. She, or it, or whatever, told CBC, which is the Canadian Broadcasting Company, News, I'm raising Searyl, Searyl, in such a way, like cereal. I think this kid's name is Cereal. In such a way that until they have the sense of self and command of vocabulary to tell me who they are, I'm recognizing them as a baby and trying to give them all the love and support to be the most whole person that they can be outside of the restrictions that come with the boy box and the girl box. That is a quote. Okay, I'm just going to comment on that directly. That's indoctrination of an infant. That's crazy. A child's mind is easily, you could easily. That's why they go after the children. I'm not getting the words right. Either way, They go after the children because they're easily indoctrinated. When you start a child and not tell them that, like, let them understand that they're a boy or a girl, you're taking away. Just think about your own life. Anyone watching this, think about your own life. Imagine that your parents never explained to you that you're the boy, mommy's the girl, daddy's a man, the boy, a boy, whatever you want to say, woman, man. They don't. These words don't mean anything to these people anymore. But that's not the point. Point is, imagine that happened to you and what it would do to your brain when you're 5 years old and all these kids are, they know what they're all she and he's they. Oh, well, he does this and she does this and you're this one kid, or because it's not, there's not two in every class. Believe me, they might want you to think that, but there's not. There's one crazy nut job every once in a while that this happens with, and that kid is being abused, and that's not an opinion. That's just abuse of a child. That child's going to go to their kindergarten, preschool. Every kid's going to be like, what are you talking about? Even at the age of 3 or 4, kids are brutally honest and will tell this other kid, you're a girl, or whatever. I don't know what the kid is. Like, you're a girl. I can see it. Those kids will definitely do that to the other kid. So that will cause a major confusion. And then they like to come out with these silly stats. And then, if no, actually I haven't done it on this channel because my channels get deleted so often on YouTube. Thank you, Rumble. But I've said it before. When they complain about the rate of I guess they use trans as the number one thing, so they use that term of their suicide rate. That's part of it. That's why, because of the confusion in their mind that came from, sometimes, in a case like this, from their parents, and then they want to blame people who just don't agree with this kind of stuff for that kind. No, it's emotional abuse. I'm gonna get off this subject before I say something that boys don't wear dresses. Well, that actually isn't true. Late 1800s, early 1900s, probably all through the 1800s, they were putting boys in dresses for their pictures. Well, actually, I guess when they could take pictures would be the late 1800s, 1900s, when they would take pictures. But even for paintings, they would put a boy in a dress as a baby, wear pink. A Formula One race car driver named Lewis Hamilton posted a brief video of his 3-year-old nephew on Christmas morning wearing a princess dress. See, that's different. Where he asked the boy why he was wearing it and told him that boys don't wear princess dresses. He wasn't mean or yelling at the kid. He was generally confused as to why his nephew was wearing a dress. Okay, I didn't know that was the story. Sorry. The PC police went nuts, claiming he was bullying the kid. The Huffington Post ran the headline, Lewis Hamilton mocks nephew for wearing a princess dress on Christmas. And other leftist websites jumped on this story. Of course, because they don't have any real stories. They have to make it up. All these hate crimes are always made up. We always use Jussie Smollett is the name that we use, but he wasn't the first and he definitely wasn't the last. There were so many in the last 5 years. There's been all these fake hate crimes. Most, imagine me as a I'll say I'm a white guy right now, because I'm not white, believe it or not. But let's say I'm a white guy and I went out on the street and spray painted on my property, fuck whitey, or whatever, on my own house. You think I would would you consider me mentally stable? Would you? Just answer the question yourself. He quickly deleted the video and issued an apology. Never apologize to the woke mob. Never, ever, ever, ever. That makes me want to do this. And I'm gonna do it. I'm going to use the word minuscule. Check out the ticker changing in the bottom in 1 second. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's get back to work here. Never apologize to the woke mob. They are loud, but minuscule in numbers in reality. That's a fact. Father's Day is a problem. It's very long. Toxic masculinity, the father of the gay rights movement. We don't want to talk about that on YouTube. I'm going to drop YouTube and start Rumble in a second. Actually, I'm going to drop YouTube now and start Rumble. Thank you, YouTube, but no thank you.